Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is Rag Gaudi, Gwareri, Mahalla Tija, Chopade. 4-versed stanzas in Rag Gaudi and the Ragini, as it is called, Gwareri. And it goes as follows. Ik oankar Satgur Prasadi, Gur Miliye Har Mela Hoye, a-sabad-a-day Milave Soye, Mera Prabh Sab Bid Ape Jane, Hukme Mele Sabdi Pichane, Satgur Ke Pae Param Pau Jaye, Pair Rache Sach Rang Samaye Rahao, Gur Miliye Har Man Vase Subhaye, Mera Prabh Para कीमत नहीं पाए, शब्दे सलाहें अंत न पारावार, मेरा प्रभ बक्से बक्सनहार, गुरे मिलिए सब मत बुध होए, मन निर्मल वसे सच सोए, साच वसिय साची सबकार, उत्तम करनी शब्द विचार, गुर ते साची सेवा होए, गुरमुख नाम पछाणे कोय, जीवे दाता देवनहार, नानक हर नामे लगे प्यार. So the central message here really talks about Satgur ke pae param po jai. Devotion to the principles of the enlightened wisdom, Satgur, removes the delusion of the ego and the fear of death. One is then filled with loving devotion to the self. So we need to understand this. What is this param and pau? So let's see from the top what is being said around this central idea. It says, Gur Miliye Har Mela Hoye, a-sabad-a-day Milave. By adopting Gur wisdom, Gur Miliye, adoption of Gur wisdom, Har Mela Hoye, the self is discovered. a-sabad-a-day Milave. Ape here refers to the self. Gur wisdom, it's the self causes the union to happen. a-sabad-a-day Milave. In other words, it is really not our volition. What we have to do is adopt Gur wisdom, is to sink into that wisdom, and then this process happens because Mera Prabh Sab Bidi Ape Jane. The wisdom, Mera Prabh means wisdom of the self. The wisdom of myself knows all the prescriptions. Mera Prabh Sab Bidi Ape Jane. It knows how to cause this union. We don't. Hukme Mele Sabde Pachane. So the precondition is Sabad Pachane, Gur Miliye. Gur, Shabad, essentially the same thing. Gur is that knowledge principle, Sabad, the discourse, what we hear. And so by recognizing or assimilating the Sabad, the discourse of the enlightener, one harmonizes with the law, Hukum. So essentially, the whole idea of getting rid of one's delusion, param, and fear centers around this notion of harmonizing with Hukum. Because, at one level, we all suffer from some sort of delusion or illusion, if you will. I mean, for instance, we all tend to think that somehow the rest of the world is somehow better off than we are, in whichever way. Either someone has more money, someone's happier, someone's healthier, what have you. We all tend to think that the world has it better than us. But that really is not the case. This is just an illusion that we have and we create. Sheikh Farid says, Farida, main jaaniya dukh mujhko. I thought I was the only one. Dukh sabaya jag. And then I discovered that everybody else had the same illusion. So not only do we have these illusions about the outside world, but we also have a primary illusion from which the other illusions flow. And that is, we misidentify ourselves. In Gurmat, that is the primary foundational illusion. We become identified, attached to the senses, the body. We mistake the body to be ourselves, and so we become outward looking, reaching out, grasping, clinging, comparing, instead of turning inward. That is really the fundamental game. And so the Guru says, Gur Miliye Har Mela Hoye. Adopting Gur wisdom brings intuitive awareness. Intuitive awareness. It is not cognitive. So we have to expand the mind to be able to feel, think intuitively. Essentially without data. That data is at another level. And the Guru says, the wisdom of myself, Mera Prabh Para, is fully laden with excellences. Mera Prabh Para, Keemat nahi paaye, cannot be estimated. Sabad Salahi, Ant na Paravar, Mera Prabh Bakshe, Baksanhar. Guru wisdom tutors the mind, by virtue of which the limitless and the transcendent can be experienced. So Gur wisdom teaches us that process of how to expand the mind to reach beyond itself. And this wisdom is a gift of the generous self. Mera Prabha Bakshe, Baksanhar. So with that, he continues to say, Gur Miliye a-sabad-a-day Hoye. Adopting Gur wisdom brings understanding and awareness. The mind becomes absorbed in perfected awareness, mana nirmal vase sachasoy, from which stem truthful actions. Such a vase sachi sabakar. Truthful meaning not colored by judgment, especially judgment associated with memories. So you treat every situation with wisdom. Gur te sachi seva hoye. That can only happen when one submits to the Guru, to the Gur wisdom. The ego sense has to submit itself, has to turn itself over, if you will. And so that is a very rare thing, which is why the Guru says, Gurmukh naam pachhane koi. Rare is the individual who imbibes this self-knowledge from the Gur enlightener. It takes commitment, it takes motivation, it takes focus. You really have to make that commitment. That is what is called bhakti. It's devotion. Jive datta devan har, nanak haran naam mein lage pyar. Spiritual birth. Jive datta devan har. Spiritual birth is a gift of the giver. So he's talking about not just this human birth that we have gotten, but the spiritual birth that must occur once we are born. Only then is self-actualization achieved. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.